Hi, this is Cousin Russ. Continuing in the series of taking a document, book, a paragraph in a book, and put it into Family Tree Maker. One of the next steps after creating a research log and citing the source, we're instructed that we should do some evidence evaluation. That is, taking that document that you're looking at, citing it, and evaluating the evidence that that document, evidence or claims that that document has. So I'm going to take the example that I've been using of a book that has some handwriting in it, and I want to do some work with it in Family Tree Maker 2014. As usual, we program in and I'm going to go to the people workspace, and I'm going to go to my grandfather, and this is the notes that I've been working on. And I want to deal with this entry that says February 4th in Waltham, but there's no year. And there's a note down here that was handwritten in the book by someone, I'm not sure who. So I want to deal with that issue right here. Now, what I'm going to do is, since this is the state belongs to my grandmother, I'm going to go over to my grandmother and her person view, and I'm going to scroll down to this entry that says February 4th in Waltham, because that's what the book said. Now, her notes are not here because it was associated with my grandfather, but I have cited this source that said February 7th in Waltham, Mass. That's what the book says. So, and there is the citation, and there's a pop-up window that tells me that that's the one I want. Now, here's a feature that I'm going to guess that many people have overlooked, and for probably good reasons. It just says rate source citation is what it says. Now, normally there's a 4-star entry, but with Family Tree, so this is how you would normally open it, and there's your citation at the top, quality rating. But what do stars mean? They don't mean anything to me. However, there's a feature that it took me a number of versions before I saw it, and it says use standard ratings. Now, what does that mean? Well, that's what I want to talk about. There's source, and there's two definitions as original or derivative, and you can see on the right where it says original, the source is an original or image copy of the original. The derivative is the source is derived, transcribed, translated from the original. So as I go down to clarity, it now says what these two options are for me. Information, primary or secondary. What does that mean? The information is on the right. And evidence. Now, let me just show you what I have in Evernote that helps me understand that. Now, here is a screen that I have. This is one of my notes in Evernote that helps me with evidence evaluation. The source categories are records, original or derivative, just like Family Tree Maker showed me. Clarity, clear, marginal. Information categories, primary, secondary. Evidence category, direct and indirect. Now, in studying the book by Dr. Thomas Jones, Mastering Genealogical Proof, we learned two items that are not in Family Tree Maker 2014. One is it an authored work? And is the information, the person who provided the information category, is it indeterminable? And as a matter of fact, there's also another category where indirect and direct is negative. Again, so these are what I have in Evernote for my memory, and these two italicized or three italicized items are what I learned from the Mastering Genealogical Proof. Now, this is the text that came off the pop-out window. So I have them here right in front of me in Evernote, so that I don't have to remember so much. Now, I can't show you on the screen, but I have Evernote and Family Tree Maker both on the same screen right next to one another. So it's very easy for me to um, uh, have the notes there and also go back to Family Tree Maker, and I'm back in Family Tree Maker. So now I can go back and hit that star menu again. So the source category, this first item is really an authored work. I don't have that option. So I'm going to select the derivative. The source is derived, transcribed, translated from an original source. That's all correct. The next one is clarity. Portion of the source pertains to, well, the facts, the book is typed, but I'm dealing with the note that was there. So I'm going to collect marginal. Portion of the source pertains to the fact or not clear. Although it is clear to me, I'm going to mark it as marginal because it is handwritten and I don't know who it is, which is the next item, primary, secondary. The person who supplied the source had only secondhand knowledge of the fact. And in fact, I don't know who supplied it. So really, I should have that third option, which I don't, but I'll go with what we have right now. And I'm going to make it secondary. And the next item is a direct or indirect? The source, I'm going to suggest indirect. The source suggests the fact that, but does not clearly state it. Proof will be required for better additional source. Now, because I have entered, and if you look over here, I did not enter the birth year. I just said February 7th. I'm going to make it indirect. So I need to go back and spend more time and see if I can find the year. And then there's some justification. So that's not what I want to type in there. Here's what I typed into this justification box. I just said the book is typed text. However, there are notes on the page. If I learned how to spell, there are notes on the page. Author of the note is unknown. Notes indicate the notations, and that referring to the notes on my grandfather's page. Therefore, it is an authored work where the informant is indeterminable. More direct evidence is required for each fact linked to that source. So I now have rated and evaluated that piece and that portion of the text, which is right here. That's what I'm dealing with. That's the birth fact. It only said that she was born February 7th and no date. Now I'll go back and make another entry just like the one I just made, but I will add the year and put the same information. I still, because I can't determine who put it there, I believe it was my mother based on the handwriting, but I'm going to leave it is because I don't know for sure. So anyhow, I'm going to end the video and hope that helped. I know it helps me to spend some time really evaluating the evidence or claims that are presented to us during our research. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.